Welcome to our revision on evolution topic, and let's look at number 1. Using relevant examples, explain the following evidences of organic evolution. Analogous structures. And these are structures that have different embryonic origin but have been modified, the key term there, modified or evolved to perform similar function. And examples include wings of birds, birds and insects, eye of man and octopus. We also have flippers of whales, dolphins, and fins of fish. Limbs of mammals, that is the pentadactyl limbs of mammals and arthropods. Then these organisms sharing or having analogous structures are believed to have different ancestral origin. Then B, comparative embryology. Under comparative embryology, we are comparing the embryos of different organisms. Under vertebrates, embryos in their early stage of development are morphological or morphologically similar, suggesting a common ancestral origin. The closer the resemblance between the embryos in their early stages, it means the closer the phylogenetic relationship of the vertebrates. It means they're closely related. And that is about recapitulation theory. And that is about ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. Vestigial structures. And vestigial structures are structures that have ceased being functional or have become functionless in the course of time and have reduced in size, or in short we call it rudimentary. They have become rudimentary. For example, we have cecum and appendix in man, coccyx or the vestigial tail in man, nictitating membrane in the eyes of mammals, ear muscles in man, reduced wings in kiwi and ostrich, and the presence of functional structures in some organisms and their presence in others in vestigial form suggest a common ancestry. Homologous structures, or structures that have a common embryonic origin but have been modified to perform different functions, e.g. forelimbs of vertebrates. We have beaks of birds, feet structures of birds, mouth parts of insects, vertebrate hearts, and organisms sharing homologous structures are believed to have a common ancestral origin. And the evolution of homologous structures is called divergent evolution or adaptive radiation. Question 2. During one of the expeditions, a group of students captured the following photo from one of the sites. Name the type of evidence of evolution represented, that is fossil records. Part B. State 3 disadvantages of using the evidence named in A above to explain the process of evolution. Number 1, we have several missing links in the records, distortion of parts, that is during sedimentation, the destruction of fossils by geological activities, can have earthquakes during faulting and folding, they can destroy the fossils. Question 3. Kiwi are flightless birds endemic to New Zealand. Their functionless wings are believed to be have risen from birds inhabiting environments where flight was not required. State the relevance of such belief in process of evolution. When the environment demands the need or use of a particular structure in an organism, the organism develops the structure in response to the demand. And that is about Lamarck's theory of use and disuse. It means the wings were not being used. Eventually, they became vestigial. Part B. Explain the weakness of the theory in explaining emergence of kiwi birds. And this because phenotypically acquired characteristics or traits which do not affect the genotype of an individual cannot be inherited. And it lacks scientific evidence to support it. Question 4. In one of the national parks, the poster below is noted, early morning in Africa, an antelope wakes up. It knows it must outrun the fastest lion or it will be killed. Every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up. It knows it must run faster than the slowest antelope. Name the phenomenon captured in the photograph, and that is natural selection. Describe the role of the phenomenon named in A above in the process of evolution. 3 marks. Natural selection works by favoring survival of individuals with advantageous traits. And those with advantageous traits become propagated in the population. And this case means they are able to reach sexual maturity, reproduce, and pass the advantageous traits to the offsprings, leading to a generation where the species are adapted and become suited to the environments. Or in other terms, we call that speciation. Explain the following could contribute to the process of evolution: resistance to antibiotics. And in this case, some pathogens possess gene for resistance or acquire the gene for resistance through mutation. They pass the gene for resistance to their offspring through reproduction, hence establishing a population of resistant forms. Mutations. We have beneficial mutations which can be passed on to future generations through reproduction. Over time, these advantageous mutations accumulate, resulting to the evolution or formation of new species. Meiosis. During meiosis, homologous chromosomes are able to exchange gene segments during crossing over, resulting into new combination of genes. And this increases genetic variation among offsprings. Apart from that, during independent assortment, each chromosome is randomly distributed into gametes. Thus, each gamete has a unique combination of genes, and this creates a genetic diversity. Question 6a. Say 3 methods of fossil formation. We have petrification or permineralization. This involves change into rocks due to compression. Then we have impressions like casts and molds. Then entire organism or parts preserved. Part C. State 2 advantages of evolution in humans. And it explains the nature and origin of life. It explains the great diversity observed in living organisms and the similarities in structure and function. Question 7. Highlight 3 key aspects of the special creation theory, and that is that life was brought into existence by a supreme being, God. Life forms were created in a perfect form and have remained unchanged over time. Question 8. Briefly explain the term survival for the fittest as used in Darwin's theory of natural selection. In the struggle for existence through competition for resources among organisms, those individuals with beneficial variations survive in the competition and are able to reach reproductive age and pass the favorable traits to their offspring. Distinguish between comparative serology and cell biology as evidences of organic evolution. Cell biology, cells of how organisms show basic similarities in their structure and functions. Our presence of these common organelles and chemicals point to a common ancestry. In comparative serology, you compare the study of blood proteins to reveal a phylogenetic relationship of organisms. Species that are more phylogenetically related contain more similar blood proteins. Question 10. The camel family includes different types of camels, all said to be descended from the same camel ancestors. As you can see, dromedary camel in Africa, Bactrian camel in Asia, then we have llama in South America. Said the evidence of evolution as shown by the camels, and that is geographical distribution or continental drift, account for the emergence of different types of camels. The continents are believed to have existed as one large landmass or Pangaea, and the present continents drifted from it, leading to isolation of camels, and the camels in each continent evolved along different lines, hence emergence of new species, what you call speciation. The diagrams below represent development stages of 3 different vertebrates, that is human, bird, and fish. So the evidence of evolution illustrated by the vertebrates in the diagram, that is comparative embryology, gives significance of persistence of the tail throughout the evolution of fish. The fish remained in aquatic habitat, therefore the tail got well developed for propulsion stroke movement. And we have past Kcse equations in evolution. Say the difference between Lamarckian and Darwinian theories of evolution. What is meant by natural selection? Describe how natural selection brings about adaptation of a species to its environment. Two populations of the same species of birds were separated over a long period of time by an ocean. Both populations initially fed on insects only. Later it was observed the population fed entirely on fruits and seeds, although insects were available, and the types of evolutionary change. Explain how process of evolution may result in formation of a new species. Explain why Lamarck's theory of evolution is not accepted by biologists today. Give a reason why it is only mutation in genes of gametes that can influence evolution. We have those past Kcse questions which are useful for revision. Thank you for listening. You can comment more and ask more questions.